Hi guys, welcome to Geek Coding Academy. Today we'll see advanced hoops concept called as interfaces in depth. So in our previous video, we talked about on abstraction. If you have not watched our previous video, please watch that video prior to this. Today we'll see on interfaces in depth. So we already discussed about interfaces in our previous videos, but in this video, I'll talk about more on multiple inheritance through interfaces because I already told you like in the concept of inheritance concept, I told you there is in Java only multi-level in inheritance or single inheritance will be allowed, but circular inheritance is also allowed, but multiple inheritance is not allowed. Why? Because we'll end up in a diamond shape problem. That means if a child class has a multiple parents, suppose if a method declared in the both the parents, the method signature is same. Suppose like name of a method in both the parents is same, then that will create an ambiguity because if a class extends or if a class extends to a parent class or if a class is a connected to a parent class, that all the features of a parent class should be inherited to the child class. So such that if a child class is connected to two parent classes, all the methods available in the two parent classes will be available for a child class. But if the method name is same, then which one it will pick? That will cause a dimension problem. So in language like a C++ and all, like we have faced this problem. So in order to eradicate, Java does not support multiple inheritance through classes. But there is an alternative for that. In Java, multiple inheritance is possible through interfaces. Why? Because interfaces only declare a method signature. Interfaces doesn't have any method body. So if you don't have any method body, the child either it can pick uh, if a child, it's a duty of a child to provide a method body. Okay, if method signature is present in both of the classes, it doesn't affect because the body anyway child will provide. Okay, so that's all about like interfaces. Like so see here, that is what I have written here. Like in multiple inheritance through classes, it's not possible because of the dimension problem. But Java support a form of multiple inheritance through interfaces. This allows a class to implement multiple inheritances. Suppose a child can have any multiple parents through interfaces. Okay. Thus achieving benefits of that multiple inheritance. Benefits we have, right? Like, well, what is the benefits of multiple inheritance? We can have an if a two parents is there, we can have a both the logic at the time available, and also we can achieve more abstraction and code will be more usable. We'll see what are the things. Okay. So how multiple inheritance avail successful via interface is, suppose when a class implements a multiple interfaces, that means that class should provide a implementation for the method declared in both the parents. Like if both the parent name is same, then the child class should give implementation for any one of the method name. Anyway, the body child will provide, right? So the parent um, only have any definition. So there is does not create any ambiguity. But the purpose of this video is after Java 8 in interfaces, default and static methods were introduced. So then you may ask, like if default methods are introduced, then in interfaces we can define a body. Suppose if you have a two interfaces where we define same method signature and the same some of the method logic, default methods we introduce, and if any child classes which extends, sorry, which implements both the interfaces, that multiple inheritance concept, in that case, it will create ambiguity. That question you may ask, but there is a solution for that. Let's see what it is. First, we'll see how multiple inheritance we have interfaces work. See, I have an interface called flyable where I have declared one method called fly. In interfaces, we don't write a body, just a method declaration. And one more method is a swimmable, which is of also a type interface. Sorry, one more interface of type swimmable, having a method called swim. So I have a class called duck, which implements both flyable and swimmable. So here multiple inheritance occurring, where I need to give method definition, sorry, method logic, method body for both fly and swim. It's duty of a duck If it implements the interfaces, then it's a duty of a child class to give the implementation of a method declared in the interfaces. Here, fluent swim, I'll give. This is all normal concept you may know, like through multiple inheritance concept supports it through interfaces because logic anyway child will provide. But the question is, after Java 8, we can have a default methods or static methods in interfaces. Now you may ask if suppose like in playable and swimmable, we have one default method having a same name and some logic here. So child class definitely have the properties of these. Then you may ask like whether it will create an ambiguity. I'll answer you simple. No, because even though if we define a default method, it's duty of a child to declare from which parent I need to pick that default method. If the method signature is same. Let's see in Java 8 plus Java 8 introduce a default method in interfaces which allows interfaces to provide a method implementation. Okay, this can lead to a potential conflict if class implements multiple interfaces. That means even like a child class, suppose it implements it can have a multiple parents having a same default methods. So the conflict may arise. You may think like that, but how to avoid that? There is a possibility in Java. It's a child duty to declare from which parent I need to pick that default method. Okay. See here in the example, I clearly mentioned, like suppose I have a one interface called walkable. I declared a default method called move. It's a Java 8 plus feature. So in Java, after Java 8, default methods are allowed. So I created a default method move and I have written a body here. Even I created one more interface called runnable and I have created a method called move default method and I declared a body here. And I created one child class person which implements both walkable and runnable. So this move method should be available for a child class, right? One sec. So these a person is a child class of this walkable and runnable, but in interfaces, if interfaces have any default method or not, that doesn't matter. But the child class should always override whatever method present. So I am overriding that move method, which already declared in my parent class. And also I need to define if I want to use the logic given by an interface, I just has to declare it with this syntax. If I want the move method body, the move logic defined in walkable class, I need to give as a walkable dot super. Super means parent always. Wherever you see super keyword, it refers to a parent. Super dot move. If I want a move method of a runnable interface, I need to write it like in a runnable dot super dot that method name. Okay. It's a child duty to clearly define from which parent I need to pick that implementation. Or if child doesn't want this super class, sorry, doesn't want these interfaces or parent methods, then the child class can have its own logic written. Instead of taking, it can also return its own logic here. Okay. What is the advantage of this multiple inheritance? First advantage is decoupling. We need to, it provide a way to decouple a class from its specific implementation. Okay. Making code more modular and reusable. Our goal here is Noob's concept is we need to make a code in such a way that it's more reusable and more modular. So such that if you want to change anything or if you want to give any implementation, we can easily, without much effort, we need to change the logic. That's the main advantage of Noob's concept. And it solves the different problem. In the case of classes, if a class has a method, if two classes having in the same method, if a child class extends both the parent classes, or if a child class can have in a both parent classes, then there will create an ambiguity because in terms of classes, the child class can override or like it can override, or if we didn't override also, the all the properties of parent classes will be automatically inherited. But in the terms of interfaces, it's a child duty, whether it's a default method or only a method declaration, it's child duty to override that method And if the child want the implementation of a default method written in interfaces, it should actually clearly mention by using a super keyword and the method name. Okay. So in interfaces, this diamond shape problem will not occur. And flexibility. So the flexibility is, for example, a child class can have a multiple parents such that promoting a more flexibility in design. It can pull one feature from one parent and another feature from another parent. Okay. So finally the key points to remember. What is the key points we have to remember in this topic is abstract methods like interfaces can have only an abstract method. So abstract method means only method declaration is there, method body will not be there. But that is for before Java 8. So after Java 8, default methods have been introduced. There, some functionality, there will be a body for that method, but the child class duty to define like from which parent I need to take if the method names are same. Okay. And also in static methods, like after Java 8, we can have any static methods also. Similar way, the default and static method, the child has to clearly define from which parent we need to pick the logic. Okay. And multiple interfaces. A class can implement more than one interface, achieving multiple inheritance. Multiple inheritance only possible through interfaces in Java, not with classes. Okay. So finally, what we can do is what I can say is this makes interfaces more powerful tool in Java for designing flexible and reusable systems while avoiding the complexity and pitfalls of multiple class inheritance. So in terms of multiple inheritance, we can't use a classes because Java prohibits multiple inheritance through classes, but Java will give option for a multiple inheritance through interfaces. So this is all about theory. I know, like if you are a bit confused, let's see the practical so that you'll understand more. So let's see the practical. So guys, I have created one more class called interfaces depth demo for this. Here, I created one interface as a walkable and I've created a default method here. Okay, move and I've given a body. Why? Because it's a Java, after Java 8 plus, we can have a default method in interfaces. And also I created one more interfaces called runnable and I created a default method move with body. And you can notice that here, both I given the same method names. It's okay. If I have given like this, if multiple inheritance supports through classes means there will be a diamond shape problem because the child class will get ambiguity from which I need to pick the move. But here in through interfaces, how the dimension problem will solve, I will tell you. Like I created one child class person here, which implements both walkable and runnable, both these interfaces. So multiple inheritance occurring here, and it's a person like a child class duty to override the default method if there is any. If there is no default method also, definitely we have to override and we have to give implementation. That's a child class duty in interfaces. But if you have, even though if you have a default method having a body, it's a child class to override that move. And here I need to particularly mention from which I need to pick the implementation. Currently, I'm picking from runnable dot super. Super means is parent dot move method. Means it will go to runnable class where super means runnable. Like super means parent. So parent of this person is runnable, and I'm calling the move method here. So I'm clearly defining. I'm overriding, sorry, I'm implementing both. Means I am having a two parents, walkable and runnable. Both are same method names, but I need runnable method name. Clearly, I'm defining. Okay, in a person class. So this person class I'm calling in my main class. Main class having a public and main method will be there. So I created an object for a person for this child class, and if I call this person dot move, it will automatically call this runnable. So let's run the program and we'll see. As you can see, it's running because I calling a runnable, it's running. Suppose if I call the other parent method move, like walkable dot super dot move. Let's run this. You see, I get a walking. And also we can able to write our own logic. Suppose after the calling walking, I just write one sort statement. Here I can write our own logic. So what it will be like. So you can see walking, moving in custom way, moving in a custom way, which I have written. So I can have the feature of all the, like I can have the implementation provided by parent, and also I can add up my own custom implementation. So this is one of the best features. So I hope you guys completely understand about the interfaces. In our previous video, we talk about like overview of an interface. Now we talk in depth, like after Java 8, how interfaces supports default and static methods, like how child will clear that diamond shape ambiguity problem, everything we discussed. So in my next video, I'll come up with a more advanced concepts. Till then, keep watching, keep learning. Thank you. Bye. If you like my video, please share the video to your friends and colleagues. And please subscribe to my channel. Till then, keep watching, keep learning. Thank you. Bye.